Okay, we finally got up here to Gettysburg. This is part of the battlefield. I think back over that side is Culp's Hill. In the 11th Corps and the 1st Corps were over here. These were reserve troops. I have a feeling, I'm not 100% sure, but I had a family member that was in the 11th Corps, I think. It was predominantly German, Germans in the 11th Corps, a lot of them. And I had, as a child, we had what's called an ambrotype image. And in that image was a soldier, and it looked like he was in a Prussian uniform, Prussia, or German from that era. And then I believe they came over here, but I'm still not 100% sure. Anyway, this part of the battlefield is where they kept the reserves. Over there, I think might be John Sedgwick, or that statue up there. I can't remember who that is. And back in here is the cemetery where Jenny Wade is buried. And there's a statue over the hill. That's entrance to Green. Damn, I'm losing my mind. Green Hill Cemetery, is that the name? Or Evergreen over here. And he gave his Gettysburg speech right over here. Trying to get some stuff in because I got here late today. My brother was driving me nuts the whole way up. So, wait a minute. We hit about every traffic jam you could hit. Here's. Now down here is, I think this is the path that leads right up to Jenny Wade's grave site. She was killed down the road here at her house. It was actually her second house. They lived up the street, and a sniper bullet went through the door, wooden door, and took her out while she was baking bread for the Union troops. The shot came from a place up the street. I think it was called the Stewart House. It's up the road. It's now a famous, semi-famous ghost-haunted tavern, or not a tavern, hotel, or whatever you call it. I can't remember the name of it right now. There you go. General James Getty, proprietor of Gettysburg, born August 14th. So that's who the town's named after. That guy. I hope you guys can read that. Half out of breath from trying to get. Oh, check that out. My name's on a gravestone over there. My last name, my real last name, and it's not Wales. See that bush? Maybe that's irrelevant. Maybe that's why I feel such a connection to Gettysburg. Huh. Now these people died after. Oh no, they were actually born after the battle. This is like 50 years later, 40 years later. The battle happened in 1863, in July. Over there, you can see that big monument. That is the National Cemetery back in there. It's pretty cool. Richard Nixon, the president, has a relative, I think maybe his grandfather's buried over there. He was actually fought for the Confederacy. I'm trying to find Jenny Wade's. There she is. There it is. I don't know if you can see it. Up over this hill. People put pennies on her gravesite. I don't know if you saw my other video of Newcastle, Delaware, the haunted area. There was a grave down there. Someone was putting pennies on. Well, it happens over here too. It could be a couple different reasons. One thing's out of respect that they put coins there for the, heard the old legend, for the river Styx is where putting copper pennies under their eyes. But the other thing is that supposedly, here's another one, Bushman. Supposedly, copper has something to do with doing something with ghosts or something, and probably the fact that copper is a good conductor of electricity. Maybe ghosts can draw energy off that, if you believe in that sort of thing. So anyway, here is Jenny Wade's grave, and I believe Lincoln gave a speech right around, actually behind me. See that statue right underneath the flag there? This is the only civilian that died at Gettysburg. Tipton, this grave right here, he was a Solomon Tipton. I believe that's his son or brother or father of a famous Gettysburg photographer for this area. Tipton, they had a place right in town, Baltimore Street, I believe. Jenny Wade. Look, see, here you go. The coins there. And someone put some rocks. It looks like a piece of quartz. And maybe even a, wow, someone left a musket ball or a mini bullet on there. That's what took her out, a mini bullet. Yeah, here's a lady who was trying to help the troops. It reminds me of the one I was telling you about in old Newcastle. She used to go over to Peapatch Island, prisoner of war camp, and bring them bread and vegetables and whatnot, fried chicken. Well, Jenny Wade was doing the same, and she took a bullet in the back trying to help others. And Julia Jefferson was the one down there that I was talking about. You can go back and check that video out. It was called Haunted Newcastle or something to that effect. Here you go. Age 20 years, 2 months. Killed July 3rd, 1863 while making bread for the Union soldiers. Let me head back towards the car. And I'll get back in touch with you too. I'm going to turn it off for a couple minutes.